Diddy. So the Diddy situation just got exposed, and he finally got his karma back. You know what I'm saying? This is just the perfect example of karma. Whatever he was doing underneath the spotlight has now come to show in real time. Everybody now knows what he's been doing. You know what I'm saying? Now it's all for the world to know. Because that's what karma is. You know what I'm saying? You can. And by the way, like, the Diddy situation is actually a perfect example of people who think pleasure is life. The real question is how much pleasure can you get in this life? You know what I'm saying? Diddy has he got to the point where for him to feel any type of sexual pleasure, he has to see someone literally pipe down his woman in front of him. That's how bad it is, guys. That's how bad it can get. If you can't control your own lust, that's how bad it's gonna get for you in the future. If you keep having zero control over your lust, that's how bad it can get. For you to get hard, for you to like be turned on, you're gonna have to see another man pipe down your woman in order for you to get any arousal. Because I think that's the whole point from him bringing that other guy to pipe down his lady. It's just because he wants to have arousal for her, and that's the only way that he can feel any type of arousal, is to see his wife literally getting piped down by a big black dude. That's just how bad the situation is. You know what I'm saying? The most important thing, I don't know, like in life, for a man specifically, is to have the power to control your own lust. If you can't control your lust, you'll just ruin you can ruin your career, you can ruin your marriage, you can ruin your life, you can ruin everything. You can even sometimes get, if you studied the people who are in prison, it always comes down to their lack of control. They can't control themselves. And one of the ways that you will lose control over your own self, over your own power um, to react to things in life, is when you can't even control your own lust. That's how bad it can get. You know what I'm saying? And in Diddy's situation, it's definitely, I would say that's the pinnacle of the lack of self discipline. He's not disciplined. He doesn't have the discipline. You know what I'm saying? That's how bad it can get. You know what I'm saying? This is just to teach you that anything that you do in private in life, anything that you do in private that you think people are not gonna know about, you have to know that it's gonna come a day. It's gonna come a day and everything is gonna get exposed. You know what I'm saying? But the biggest lesson here to learn is that if you don't have control over your own lust, it can actually get that bad. It can get that bad for you. You know what I'm saying? For people who are just consistently on thoughts of lust, they're you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to visit like sites that you shouldn't be visiting on a daily basis every single day, that's how you're gonna end up exactly. And if you saw the tape, even in the tape, he was talking and he was saying that he's seen stuff, that he's seen stuff on porn but he didn't think it was real. That was what he was saying, like in the tape. He was saying that he's seen stuff, but he didn't think that other guys can have that big of a junk, which is insane to say in a room with another man who is undressed, piping down your lady who is also undressed while you're undressed as well. Like, this is just, I did not think this was possible, honestly. I never thought that this situation could actually be possible, something that can actually happen in real life. And unfortunately it did. It did happen. You know what I'm saying? The video is out. Everybody's seen it. I'm pretty sure if you've been in the internet for the past few days, you've probably came across this tape. It's on TikTok, it's on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It's on, you can Google it. It's everywhere. Like, the Diddy situation is just everywhere. And I think for now, I don't think it can get any worse for Diddy. I thought it was not gonna get any worse, but I was wrong. Apparently I was wrong. Because it's gotten a lot worse than I've ever thought it could. You know what I'm saying? Diddy is just a person who is driven by pleasure. And when you're driven by pleasure, best believe it, you will your empire will crumble at some point. Everything that you worked for is gonna crumble at some point because of your lack of self-control. Because once you go into pleasure, how much pleasure can you get? How much? Like, what's the end? King Solomon said it, like, there's no end. Like, if you read the book of Solomon, he talks about this thing, about pleasure. He talks about pleasure. Actually, that's all that he talks about, because he has been to the pinnacle of pleasure and he hasn't found any happiness. A lot of people have experienced it. Even Will Smith have experienced it. Even Will Smith, you know what I'm saying? And we all know what happened to Will Smith. We all know how it ended for Will Smith. He definitely didn't get the happiness he thought he was gonna get. You know what I'm saying? His empire crumbled, right? So now everyone who looks or thinks of Will Smith, there is only one thought that comes to the brain. His ungrateful wife and what she did to him. Because apparently they had an open marriage too, and he was able, and he was going outside and he was trying other things, and then they were trying other things with other people, and now it got messy. Now she got jealous. Now she went outside and she piped another dude, and now the situation is messy. She doesn't respect him anymore. You know what I'm saying? And then she just destroyed his life. It's just, I think that the ending is very predictable for a man that leads with pleasure. It's very predictable. That's why the number one thing is self-control. You have to understand that no one in this world can have power over you if you have power over your own self. If you have self-control, if you have self-restraint, nobody can control you, because you're not controlled by external circumstances, by external pleasure. And God, and you can't get to that without God. You cannot control yourself. I don't care who you think you are are not going to be able to do it without God. Even the gym is not going to save you. And I say that because I'm someone who goes to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Even the gym is not going to save you from falling into lust. It's not going to save you. Nothing is going to save you. The only thing is that's going to save you is to have a deep relationship with God. You have to have a relationship with God. If you don't have any relationship with God, it's very predictable how you're going to end. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna chase pleasure and chase pleasure and chase pleasure and then get more pleasure and chase pleasure and get more pleasure and chase pleasure, and it's never gonna end and it's never gonna satisfy you. And now your soul is all dry. You don't know what to do. Now you're gonna start trying all stupid stuff. Now you're trying things that you've never even thought of in your life. You've never thought that it could get that bad for you. And now you're gonna find yourself trying those things, you know what I'm saying? To the point where it will just lead you to where you get another man to pipe down your own lady in front of your own eyes. And you are going to enjoy it. Sadly. 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 That's just how bad it can get if you don't have control over yourself. Remember, I told you, if you don't have control over yourself, your ending is predictable. The only way to have control over yourself is to, the gym is not gonna save you, nothing is gonna save you, books are not gonna save you, like meditation is not gonna save you. The only thing that's gonna save you is to have a personal relationship with the Most High, with Jesus Christ. That's the only thing that's gonna save you. When you have God in you, pleasure does not, you cannot be run by pleasure, because when you have God in you, you have a strong relationship with God. You fear God's judgment, and that's gonna keep, I'm not saying you're gonna be perfect. It doesn't mean that you will be perfect when you have God in your life, but it will be very impossible for you to go to the extent to where you are trying these different sexual stuff and all that. You can't do it, because your relationship with God is not gonna allow it. You know what I'm saying? Your fear of judgment, it's not going to allow you to go to do all those crazy things. The reason why Diddy is in that position is because he doesn't have God in his life. He doesn't have God in his life. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have God in his life. That's why. That's why Satan is able to take him in all kind of different directions, and he's just gonna follow, because he doesn't have morals. So he's like, okay, let me just focus on, essentially what he's trying to do is he's focusing on his own happiness, and he's trying to get the happiest happiness that he can ever get. He's trying to reach the pinnacle of happiness, which he does not know that it doesn't come from external pleasure, ever. Never. You have to have a relationship with God. And that's it for today. So thank you everybody for listening to this video, and I'm still gonna be dropping more videos every single day. So if you like my videos, please hit like and subscribe. That way you can get notified every time I drop a video. And thank you.